Hello. Hello, my friends. Hello, my Facebook people that I know and don't know. How is it going? How are you holding up? How are you grounding yourself? How are you finding your own internal resources? That's what we all want to know, right? Interestingly enough, I can't even find myself. I'm double whammying. Hey, Bill Evans. I'm just going to do a really, really gentle, that's how it's going to start at any rate. Hey, Saul. Really gentle movement to activate the soft apparatus. So that is actually a lyric from Anthony's song, Tonus Maximus. It goes, let's activate the soft apparatus. Let's plug into the star machine. So forgive my singing. I'm sure that was painful. But actually, it isn't let's activate the soft apparatus. It's let's release the soft apparatus. And this is a song he wrote about 20 years ago, but I'm only hearing now. So I think this is a great time as a culture to start activating softness in our bodies and activating or releasing into softness. Hey, Charles. Good to see you. I was trying to get this to happen on my... It's interesting. Facebook don't like me too much. And I don't mean the people, I mean the company. So, I can't even post this on my, that's okay. We'll just do it. I can't post it on my groups. But that's okay. Oh, maybe I can. Look at this. Oh my God, there's other things. No, I don't even know what that means. Sorry, people, as I try and figure it out. It's okay. I don't need to figure it all out right now. I'm just going to move. I'm going to move with you guys. Maybe you're going to move with me. Maybe we're not going to move. But the idea is to activate or release the soft apparatus. Activate or release the soft tissues in your body, the softness in your body, the part of your body that allows you to keep on moving, to regenerate, to come into softness. And I'm going to use a lot of Laban movement and analysis tools. We're going to use a lot of space and a lot of Bartenia fundamentals and maybe some Emily Conrad Continuum stuff and then some general weirdness things. So those are my favorite tools. Hi, Charles. So I'm going to start seated. Hey, John. I'm going to start seated and I am just going to breathe as big as I can. Inhaling, opening up into my kinesphere, reaching out into space, feeling my fingertips, and then I'm going to come down really soft. So instead of coming down in a sort of limp way, I'm going to see if I can find some lightness to descend. So I'm going to inhale, reach out, open up, expand and get bigger. And then coming down with some lightness and some softness. Hi, Ethan. Finding some energy radiating outward, maybe some fire energy radiating outward and upward, some vertical plane, and then coming down and softening into the ground. So this idea of connecting heaven and earth, reaching to the sky, and yet feeling grounded on the earth gives us sort of support to move forward with our lives, right? So we have our up, we have our down, also known as our vertical plane. That's got some sides, so our vertical dimension and our vertical plane. And from there, we can find ourselves. Where am I? I'm right here. I'm here in the vertical plane. So let's just play with that a little bit more. I'm going to get in and out of my chair a lot today, I think. So we're just going to play with finding the four corners of the vertical plane. So where are we right now? I'm here in my vertical plane. I'm reaching from one corner to the next corner, and I'm reaching in a very open way, right? I'm opening into the vertical plane. I'm not crossing into the vertical plane. We're going to get to that as well. Reaching high, taking it down, high right, high left, low right, low left, high right, high left. This is very much about being in yourself, or pay attention to me, come into my vertical plane. Inhaling and lifting and exhaling, coming down soft. Can we make our descent soft? Inhale, reach it out and up. Descending, returning down to the ground in a very gentle manner. So instead of, I'm doing a very active reach out and up. Active, 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 and then soft, soft and gentle, not necessarily passive. I am activating my soft apparatus. I'm not giving up on it or dropping and sinking in a limp way, but in an active, light, gentle way. Good, so we've done a lot of that, and I need to do a little bit more forward and backwards. So I'm just gonna do this arch and curl pattern. Actually, I'll do it seated. Will I do it seated? No, I'll do it standing, because I feel like my framing is better with that. So I'm just gonna arch, it's a cat-cow, stick out my butt, stick out my chest, and then curl, hollowing and rounding. Inhale, head and tail reaching back. Exhale, contracting and rounding. My knees are bent. Inhale, they're actually straightening here, which feels good to me today. It could be bent. Exhale, curl, using the breath to open the lungs. 2 more like that. Open it up and exhale. Soften, bow down, let go. Inhale, find your heart. Open up the back space of the heart. So that's a thing that I think we all need to do right now, is find our hearts and also find our back space. Find that volume of your heart. My heart is more like over here. So I'm just going to move from my heart, and I'm just going to take my heart a little forward and then take it a little bit back. So I'm bringing my awareness into that forward space of my chest and lungs, and then into my back space. Heart moving forward, heart moving backward, moving forward, and moving backward. So in movement analysis, we talk about the 3 dimensions: the vertical, the up-down, the horizontal, the side-side, and the sagittal, the forward-backward. And it seems that the vertical is very much a me place, heaven and earth, here I am. The horizontal is very much a we place, you and me. And the sagittal is very much an action or an inaction place. So I think a lot of us in this time of not having a lot of movement going forward in our lives, or maybe we do have a lot, maybe we have too much, and going backward would be a good thing. So just using space as a resource where I can just go up and down, I can find the ground, I can find the sky, just up and down. Very basic, very simple. Heaven and earth. There are a lot of wonderful exercises that work to balance heaven and earth in your body. And then side, side, just reaching from one side to the other. That's the, oh, there's my friend over there, and there's my friend over there. Side, sideness. And I've lost all my people right now. That's okay. I'm just going to keep going because I am moving for me and for the people who will watch later. And then the last thing is the backwards and forwards, taking it back and moving forward, offering you all my monkey gifts. Here's a present. And then taking it back into space, backing up, backing away, giving myself some space, right? How do you give yourself space? Take some space. You can take it this way, getting big in space, or you can take it by backing up. I am now have all the space in front of me. Or I can close that gap, I can move forward, and here I am, we're together, right? Hey, Georgina. Finding space in the body. So now I'm just going to move a little bit more with that heart, and I am going to think of my shoulders moving into my chest, lungs, and heart. So I'm not going for my biggest movement now. This doesn't have to be dancing. This can just be easy movement as I invite some of the tension patterns in my neck, head, and shoulders to release. And as I'm doing that, I am mobilizing my ribcage, lungs, and heart, right? So you could do this sitting down. It could be small, or it could be bigger. It doesn't have to look like what I'm doing. It can look like what you're doing. In fact, it will. And I do invite you to participate in whatever small or huge way feels good. Taking the ribs forward and the ribs back. Opening. So as I'm opening the front, I'm also kind of closing the back. As I'm opening the back, I'm closing the front, right? There's a balance between my frontness and my backness. My arms are going back, my chest is going front, and vice versa. Always, we're always moving within some kind of balance, right? There's always one end and then the other end. And usually, if we're really, really attuned to one end, we have a lot of stuff happening in the other end as well. So just thinking of the sort of polarity of a spectrum of any kind of movement, like I'm moving with softness, I'm moving with lightness, or I'm moving with strength, and I'm moving with like specific assuredness. I'm moving indirect, checking it all out, or I'm moving, boom, direct, pinpointed. So that's all Laban movement analysis stuff, which is super fun to play with in your body. So we've been doing a lot of heart, rib cage, lung movement. Very gentle, very easy. Maybe it's not easy. Maybe it's hard. Maybe it's hard to move that stuff. So again, coming back to this idea of releasing the soft apparatus. What happens when we take up more space internally, when we allow our emotions to have a little bit more fluidity, which doesn't mean we get stuck in them necessarily, but we allow them to come and to go. We don't hold on to them, but we give them some freedom, maybe through expression. Maybe we do some art project. Maybe we talk to our friends. There's a lot to process right now. And in some ways we have the time. Some of us have the time, which is a tremendous privilege. So I am circling my arms and I am moving my body in the sagittal. This could be small. It could be a circle up and a circle down. Bending, chest and lungs opening, offering and humbling, letting go, coming up, opening, dropping it down, closing. This is a super modern dance exercise. And circling and dropping. We can make this small. It could be here, up and lift, and take it down. Just feeling, how does it feel when you're here? How does it feel when you're there? What's the difference? So I'm opening my heart and lungs. I'm curling and rounding. Opening. Georgina, if you're there, still there, will you share this on the Glitter Size page and on the Zoom workout page if you are still there? That would be wonderful. All my friends out there, I can't do it by myself. We can't do it alone. We need each other. That's the way it is. And we need to come. So I'm shaking it out. This is my JT shakeout. Taking some of the nervous energy out of my body and just giving myself a little contralateral pattern, cross-body movement, believe it or not. So this is contralateral, cross-lateral movement, great for your nervous system. These things, you may have seen these before, working across your body. Yeah, has an effect on how things process through your corpus callosum, the great superhighway in the middle of your brain. So from there, thank you. Circle, I'm gonna do circles with my pelvis. And in my circling, I'm gonna sort of see what's going on down there, right? Do I feel like I have to go to the bathroom? Nope. Do I feel tense? Where am I holding tension in the bowl of my pelvis? Do I feel like I need to contract and constrict and hold it all in? No, I don't. I actually feel like I can find some freedom. I'm changing direction, going the other way. So mobilizing pelvis, stick out your butt, pubic bone forward, just coming into the experience of existing in my body and talking to you about it so that you can maybe have an experience of existing in your body, right? We all will, for our entire lives, exist in our bodies. So the easier we can do it, the more gentle and friendly with ourselves, the better. Hello, Sheila Ward. There's my mom. She is in the other room watching. Sometimes she can't get on. Sometimes she can. I think it's part of the Facebook thing. So just because my mom is there, I am going to do some swimming because I know she likes that. And as I'm swimming, she might even come out and join me in the swimming. We'll see. And then I'm going to do like the sort of B-52s swimming where I am bending my elbow. So it's not just this. That would be my backstroke. And in fact, I have been swimming and it felt so great. I felt so lucky to be swimming upstate in a lake. So back to the B-52s version. And if you feel like it, you can free up your spine with the B-52s version dancing with no music. I don't see my mom coming out. She's probably just watching and not working out with me. So from there, hello, aloha from Hawaii. Hello, Rick Jaro. I'm going to put my hands on my knees. You can do this in a chair, and I'm going to do a little bit more spinal movement. So easy, easy arch and easy curl, hollow and round. Inhaling, opening, chest and lungs. Exhaling, closing. You can see my shoulders are moving a lot. I can draw them down and lengthen my neck, or I can just let them do whatever they want to do, right? And right now, drawing them down feels like adding tension, so I'm kind of letting them ride up closer to my ears because that is what feels okay in my body right now. And that shoulder neck area is a big source of my holding pattern. Probably most people's holding pattern. So I'm going to make this back into chair movement. And I'm gonna just go back to that arching curl. So arching, curling, some of you folks know this as cat-cow. I think if you're a gyrokinesis or gyrotonic person, it's arch and curl. Just opening and closing. Inhale, open. Hey, Amber. And exhale, hollow and close. Inhale. So if you're just joining, it looks like I have a lot of new people have just popped in. I am doing a really easy, soft, gentle movement exploration today. I don't even want to say exercise. So the idea is that we're participating in being a human, as opposed to looking at ourselves from the outside going, okay, this is right, this is wrong, do it like that, you should look like this, all those external ideas that we kind of shove into ourselves. And instead of that, we're just feeling what it feels like to be in human bodies today. What does it feel like? How can it feel okay? Or maybe it can't. Sometimes it can't. I've had a few days of, oh my God, I don't know where to go. I just can't. And it's so uncomfortable to be in my own body. And the thing that has helped me is doing universal compassion meditations where I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I send loving kindness to everyone. I send it to myself because I think that the only way to really move forward in a healthy way is in a loving, kind manner. Clarence, nice to see you. And now, so I've been doing a lot of this sagittal plane, forward, backward, wheel plane movement. Now I really need to get into some diagonals. So I'm going to reach into a high corner and then down into a low corner. And I'm sitting on my butt on a chair. It doesn't have to do what I'm doing. You could be reaching to the corners of your room, but listening into your body to go, what's gonna feel good? Where can I find some softness, some ease, some fluidity, and some fluency? I'm changing my diagonals. And I am semi out of frame, and guess what? You get to do it however you want to do it, in your own way, in a way that feels good. Oh my goodness, the ballet world has come in. Nice to see you, Alexandra. I am just working with soft patterning for the body. Soft, easy, gentle. So we're going to do this exercise. It's kind of based on ideas that I learned in Continuum, really, and with Liz Cook, the SOAS lady. And it's about finding some freedom, deep internal sense of freedom. And I even talking about doing this in a live format feels a little nervous for me. It's also relating to the coffee I drank this morning. But what we're going to do is just, it can be micro movement. And I'm going to let my arms float because that actually feels really good to me. So I'm letting my arms float, and I am inviting fluidity through my whole spine, and I am imagining my spine as being like a river as opposed to a column. It is not a building, it is not architecture, it's human body, right, which is organic. So I am letting the idea of the river of my spine mobilize through me in ways that feel interesting. So I'm thinking like sending ripples and waves and inviting patterns of movement that aren't my normal patterns of movement. So I'm not, here I am in my ballet position, or I'm doing Pilates, or I'm in my plank, not adding that kind of tension, but finding freedom instead, finding movement, finding what is interesting, where can I play? And if you feel called to add another element to this, you can add a, it's called theta breath. Emily Conrad calls it theta breath. Different people teach it different ways. It's a soft S, like a, or a soft TH, like a. So if you add that breath, it's going to slow down your breathing. If you're too activated, it'll be really hard to add the breath, just breathe normal. But if you are able to slow down enough, so I'll just do 1 or 2 rounds of it, and you can join me or watch me or just think that I'm a total weirdo, or you can go somewhere else, and that's fine. Do what you need to do for you. So here's the big breath. I'm going to take a big inhale. And what I notice immediately is that as soon as I do that, I become more internally focused. Hey, Eric. I'm not looking to you, and it's less performative. It's internal, proprioceptive, kinesthetic awareness. of what is going on in my body and how can I find more fluidity in that space. Sam Wheeler. So I am going to do it a couple more times, and you can just breathe. You can add the theta breath, that soft hissing or TH sound, or you can do nothing. It's entirely up to you. So big inhale. Yeah, so I'm just finding the freedom pattern in my body. And the other thing that I noticed that was really interesting, as soon as I do theta, because continuum work is really not performative, but as soon as I started doing theta, I started noticing the stuff outside. I started to see it, the bird at the bird bath. And then eventually I saw some of you guys say stuff, and then I came back into this external place, right? Whereas when I'm here doing theta and I'm noticing my environment, it doesn't feel necessarily like it's external, like it's other. But when I look at the screen and I see your names, I think I become a little bit more aware of judgment for myself. Like, oh my God, there's my friend, like my ex's son, and there's somebody else that I used to take ballet class with, and there's somebody else. So it's like when other people come in, I become much more inhibited. That's the word. Or I become aware that I could be very inhibited. So how do I keep working with being true to this type of really deep work and offer it in a platform that is so strange, like Facebook Live? Like, I would love to be doing this in the same room as people, but that is not going to happen for a while. So let's go with that again. Finding freedom through Lisa Ward, my sharer of the last name. Finding fluidity through your body with any kind of movement. You've got the axis of up, down, side, side, forward, backward, the dimensional cross of axis, and then you can take it out on diagonals, and you can play with initiation and follow through. So like if I initiate down here, it could ripple up somewhere else, right? Or if I initiate down here, or I can not think about any of that stuff and just allow the internal dance of fluid movement in my body to start to move, right? So that I'm starting to go, what can I let go of? Or maybe you are feeling pain somewhere. So maybe that's what you're really aware of. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe you're really aware of feeling pain in a place. And if there, we have an easy way to focus on a somatic thing when we feel pain, right? So here's an invitation. If you have a painful spot, you could feel the painful spot and then let yourself find a pleasurable spot. Where does it actually not hurt? It's like that thing in I think it's Indiana Jones, where he's like, it doesn't hurt right here on his eyelid, right? Anyway, that's I'm a million years old movie reference. So find the place that it doesn't hurt and ping your attention back and forth between, okay, here's the pain spot. Here's where I'm holding a lot of tension. And for me, what feels really good? Actually, my legs feel really good right now. So you can't see them, but yeah, I'm like, okay, so I can ping in between awareness moving from that space down to this space. And what happens when I'm shifting through that awareness? Well, for me, because I'm actually not in pain, which is an amazing thing, although I'm sure I've got quite a nice tension pattern happening up here, I just want to play in this. So we're going to work with it a few more times. Theta breath, soft TH or hissing sound, and any kind of movement that feels interesting to explore. You could be rolling all over the floor with this. You could be standing up. You could be on all fours. All fours is a great way to play with fluid spinal movement. You could lay on your back and still have that movement. So work with what feels resourceful for you and not uncomfortable, right? And you can ping back and forth between what feels good, what doesn't feel good, or you can just play with interest in internal listening. So it's kind of like Vipassana yoga or Vipassana meditation, where you're tracking internal sensation. But in this, you're moving that. You're allowing it to ripple through, to fizzle, to shift, to change, to go into different places. So let's go into that. And I will be quiet for a couple of minutes, maybe. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm really finding the need to get my arms into the game. So I'm going to back up a little bit, and I am actually finding a painful spot, and that's my sit bones on the chair. So I'm just going to move a little bit bigger, and I may get off the chair. But I'm inviting, so in Continuum, I talk about wave-like and tentacle-like movement. So I'm inviting that wave-like, tentacle-like movement into my whole body. And to me, it's like, oh, it's so resourceful. It feels so good. It's such a relief. It allows my nervous system to really dial down. Although sometimes when we learn how to dial down and to drop, we suddenly notice that within that pool is a whole lot of stuff we haven't looked at, and it can then start bubbling up. So you want to make sure that if you are going to go into doing some of this work, that you feel like you have resources, somebody you can talk to, a book you can read, things that you can tune into that give you relief and release and support and resource. So that's the beauty of actually, like, that's what happened with our whole society right now. We see what's happening, and we see how uncomfortable and awful it is. So yeah, we've all had a chance to open our eyes to some real horror that a lot of people exist in and every day. Just talking about it, I feel an activation, right? So I'm bringing myself back so I can resource, so I can show up and be there for people, with people, for myself. So yeah, let's go back to that with the theta breath. Inviting any movement to happen that feels interesting. I'm also twisting. Yeah, I've been sitting in that sort of vertical pattern for long enough. I need a little bit more spiral side. In Laban, we call it rotary factor. It's that circling participation of joints. And I'm going to change the breath, right? I've gone past theta for right now. I'm going to do this breath that I call it cave breath, and I think it's probably got another name. And it's like this. It's like a cave on the edge of the water, and the water's coming in and smashing through, and the air is coming in. Maybe not smashing. Maybe it's gently lulling through. So whatever kind of wave imagery you like, hitting around the inside of the cave. And your mouth is the cave. And the sounds are going to come through like, you can breathe through your nose on the inhale. And anytime that this feels like, oh, I'm getting tired, it's too much, just stop, take a rest. Feel what you're feeling, close your eyes, turn off the sound. Do whatever you need to come back into yourself. So this is just like a different way of participating in being a human that is not really taught often in schools. And it seems like it's only been in rare places, although more and more these days that I am coming across this type of integrated participation, subjective experience of being a human, as opposed to the external, hey Greg, I'm sure that you should get in touch with Anthony. I hate to should people, but I know he'd be really happy to hear from you. And Emilio, hello, Stephanie. We're playing with freedom inside the body. Freedom and space, internal space, resourcing through movement. So this is going to hydrate tissue. It's going to stimulate the lymphatic, which is a detoxifier of the body. And in an ideal world, it's going to start to balance your autonomic nervous system. So parasympathetic and sympathetic get a little bit more balanced out. I think a lot of people have been stuck in freeze for a while with all of the trauma that we've been seeing, hearing, feeling, and observing, witnessing. So inviting your whole system to calm down, to resource through the breath, through movement, through soft, gentle, easy internal space. So instead of shoving in more difficult stuff or not feeling anything by going to your old patterns, we're inviting in a chance to process some of the stuff we've been feeling, which might not always feel good. That's for sure. And it doesn't really matter how much of this work you've been doing. I think that right now, with the layers and waves of global stuff that we're all having access to because we are online, there's a lot to deal with. And it doesn't serve to be stuck in anger, in hatred, that's not true. Sometimes it does serve to be angry. It can mobilize, and it has mobilized, and it is mobilizing. But for our systems to stay in those places is very hard. So for our own animal body, we need to find softness. We need to find empathy. We need to find compassion, and we need to find compassionate ways of dealing with all the stuff within our own bodies. We don't need to tell other people how to do it. Everyone can do what they have to do the way that they have to do it. And if we try and push and shove other people into being certain things, into acting certain ways, it doesn't work very well. So it's just an offering and an invitation. I'm going to get up off my chair, and I'm going to move a little bit bigger. So this is really, and actually I'm going to do something fun. This is my fun moment, and this is inspired by Brian Carr. I'm going to show you my world a little bit, and I'm going to dance with you. Hello, my friends. So nice to see you. Yeah, there's my backyard. Maybe there's some cool plants in here that you can look at. And you can see the wind in the trees. Yeah, so Brian Carr did this awesome thing the other night. He had headphones on and he was dancing, and I had just been watching some like cop show, and I was like, I need to think about something else. And I saw him doing this dance around his house without hardly ever talking. And he did it for an hour and 45 minutes. I think I was tuned in for between 25 minutes and half an hour. And it was like, oh my God, it just made me, I love you too. Thank you, James. Yeah, it just made me feel really good to see another human who I actually know and have danced in the same room with doing his thing, showing me his house. Look at the sun behind me, right? And then there's the outside. And here's a really cute little friend I have. It's this coleus. So yeah, just sharing, I don't know, it's great when we break the pattern up a little bit and change it. So it's not like, well, here I am, Laura Ward, and you're gonna expect these things. This is what's gonna happen when we're together. But it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna work. I don't know what's not gonna work. But right now, I'm gonna move forward and backward, and this is my inviting you. Hello, please come in, please join me. Get up off your chair, or don't, but allow your body to soften and move with me. And the thing that I've noticed as a dancer, slow down, breathe. Yeah, I'm getting there. The thing that I've noticed is that if I'm watching somebody dance, my body's feeling the whole thing, right? My body's going through it. I'm feeling like I'm dancing. So that's the thing we have. How much does our body know that it's separate from what it's seeing? How much does our body know? How much do we internally feel different? Are you not me? Are you with me? Are we in this together? And I mean like, are you feeling my movement? You might not be moving at all, and you might feel it. You might feel it in your body. And that's how like we can come together. So I'm playing a lot with, I guess, pinging back and forth between core distal movement, but letting all of that have a sort of bounce and a rhythm without any sounds other than the birds. Well, there are sounds here, hearing the sounds. And the breath. So I'm just gonna come back into that breath. In movement analysis, we talk a lot about growing and shrinking with the breath. So getting bigger and expansive on the inhale, and then coming in on the exhale. We could say extending and contracting, although I feel like contracting is not something I want to do right now. So unless I just mean getting smaller by contracting as opposed to contracting, we can also say unfolding and folding, or growing and shrinking, rising and falling, advancing and retreating, all these different words of like how we can be in space, in movement with our breath. So I'm just inviting you to breathe as big as you need to breathe. Became very aware of the space up here. And this upper chest, lungs, forward, high space for me is a place of hope. It's a place of wonder. It's a place of, oh, look at that, of awe. So see if you can activate some of that. Where is your awe? Where is it in your body? And then I saw something, it was amazing, and now I want to share it. I want to tell all my friends about it, right? Like my mom, she'd been watching the opera, all the live streams of the opera, or almost all of them. And I've watched some of them. It's nice when we can share things with other people, right? The Bluebeard's Castle was amazing. And I had just done this whole workshop with Liz Coate and a few other people, Christy Taylor and Deborah, I can't remember her last name, that was about wild, wise women engaging. And they used the story of Bluebeard to use it as a wholeness pattern on how we exist in the world. So all stories can be seen as a wholeness pattern, right? and how we react. Like in Bluebeard's castle, what part of me is Bluebeard? What part of me wants to, you know, dominate, control, and decimate my loved ones, right? That's what Bluebeard does. He kills his wife, he kills his wives, right? Little Henry VIII moment. What part of me is that? Where is that in my body? Can I soften that? Can I soften that apparatus? Ooh, it becomes heavy and I feel the ground, right? So I'm gonna ground my energy. I don't know how it is for you. I don't know how these ideas like play in you, but if I spend my time looking out and blaming everybody else, then I'm not doing the work. The work is in here. How do I oppress? What parts of myself do I oppress? What parts of myself are not okay? Do I need to be perfect? And I have to say, it's impossible. Can't be perfect, especially at this time. Like all the videos I've tried to make where I was like trying to be perfect and edit them and make them all perfect, my computer failed. Wouldn't even export. So here we are, live. Stream of consciousness. River spine, river mouth. Just saying the things that are coming out. And my sister told me, my stepsister, she's like, and she's also a teacher. Yes. She's like, Laura, I'm so jealous. You can talk to people and just be live. And I'm like, yeah, because what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? It's better to regret something you have done than to regret something you haven't done. That's maybe not always true, but let's say that we're coming from heart space. If it's in the heart space, do it. Open it up. Share it. Charlotte, Romsdal, we have relatives in the house. Relatives perhaps, oh, I think you're actually in the US, but you might be in Norway. All right, let's just activate the space around us now. So we've been soft and gentle for a little while. So, and you can always do something different, right? You don't have to do what I'm doing. Listen to your own body. Go, oh no, I don't want to do that at all. I just need to sit here. That's cool. Do that. Or shake it, shake it, shake it. So I'm actually going to shake, 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 and I'm going to amplify my shaking. So it's going to start with this bounce. I'm going to try and activate my kinesphere, so all the space around my body. If I was in a big bubble, I want to get some shaking going in my whole bubble. Like some people say, paint every little part of your interior of your bubble. With your fingertips, with your toes, with your elbows, with your shoulders, with your butt, with your knees. Shake, shake, shake. We're going to amplify, amplify, amplify. So getting harder and more intense. Hands, maybe it's just your hands. Maybe it's your head. Maybe it's your shoulders. Amplify, amplify, get bigger, bigger. We're going to go down. I'm going to count down for 10, then we're going to stop. And that will feel very interesting. So amplify, 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 or feel what I'm doing and don't do anything. 10, get bigger. 9, get more. 8, 7, 6, 5, more if you can, amplify. 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. And just feel your body. Feel your breath. If you can, feel the energy coming from my hands. The energy going from your hands. Feel what that activation did. My blood is flowing. I can feel my feet on the floor. I can feel the mat under my feet. Oh, and obviously I can't stop, right? I've started moving again. I'm going to stop it again. Just breathe. I'm going to add the up and down just with the breath. So I'm moving. I'm moving with breath. And I'm inviting myself to really stay present with what my body feels like right now. It feels like this, actually, inside. Like I feel like the shaking is still going on. I can feel my head. And my head feels a little disconnected. So I'm just going to take my hands. I'm going to invite you to do this too. Rub them together. So these are some ideas from Reiki. Getting some energy in between your hands. And just hold it there for a second. And push them together. So you're pushing your hands together. Yeah, and then I'm bending my knees. I'm kind of coming into a horse stance. If you guys have ever done any kind of martial arts, horse stance. Oh, and that's grounding my energy a lot. And then from there, I'm just going to soften that again. Soften, I'm going to open my hands a little wider. Feel the space between my fingertips. Now we're getting to the Reiki exercise. One hand up on the top of your sternum, the other one on your belly. And just feel the space in between and underneath your hands. Feel the depth of your body, the forward, backward depth. Let your belly hang. You don't need to make it, this is not six-pack time, unless it's the drinking one. Just kidding, it's not time for that either. So just letting yourself feel what it is to be inside your body. What comes up? Are you judging anything here? Does it feel like a homecoming? My hands feel cold. But this is a great place. You could do lower, heart and belly. It's a great place to come into yourself. Let's go down and just do a little bit more breathing exercises that are more specific. So we're gonna do hands on the ribs. So I like to spread out my thumb and my pinky, get as wide as I can, and I'm just gonna breathe into the width of my body. Trying to move my hands away from each other. And then I'm gonna smash them in a little bit. Just feeling that strength in my hands, feeling the density of my ribs. Two more like that. Finding my width, the side expanse of my rib cage and lungs and my heart. Yeah. And so I could also do that like going up and down with my breath, and I could also do it with the forward backward space, but I actually just want to do connecting heaven and earth right now, and then I think I'm going to end it. So rubbing your hands together, feeling that energy, and I'm sure there's a million ways to do this. You might have a different one. You can do that one if you want to. So I'm just going to one hand up, one hand down. I'm going to step away so you can see. And I'm going to feel my feet on the floor. I'm going to feel my toes. One of my feet is on the wood planks of the porch, and the other foot is on my squishy mat. So I'm feeling that underneath my feet. And then I'm just inviting one hand to ground and one hand to reach into that high energy. Connecting heaven and earth, breathing into it, feeling what it feels like to be in my human body. And I feel I'm kind of rocking forward and backward. I'm not doing it on purpose, it just seems to be happening. So I'm listening in for what my body wants to do, and I'm allowing it to happen. And then I'm going to fingertip, as light as possible, so they're barely touching. Just the lightest, most gentle feeling. And if I can then take that same light, gentle feeling from my fingertips and ride it through my whole body. So my whole body finds a sense of lightness, gentleness, and ease. I'm not shoving into anything. And then I'm going to go with the other side. Heaven to earth, grounding energy, and feeling the sky, feeling divinity, feeling whatever's up there for you. Feeling the heavens, feeling space. I'm feeling myself within. On this side, it feels a little different. Although, yeah, there's still like a pouring forward and backward. And if I was to say that that was really happening from somewhere, I think it would be like my sacrum. Although maybe not. It's too hard. Too hard to know really where is it coming from. But I do feel this forward backward movement. And then fingertips coming together again. And I'm not going to spend hours on that. You could go on and on with connecting heaven and earth, but I'm just going to finish it up, end it out. And hello, Richard Bruckner. Oh my goodness, I still have some of your tapes that you made me. They were great. And we're just going to drop the head. So this is final couple of exercises that are really good for softening your nervous system. Letting your head just easy drop forward. It's not a full range of motion, just a little bit. So I'm just going to drop a tiny bit and then lift a tiny bit. And as I'm dropping and lifting, for me right now, I'm letting my eyes go down and my eyes go up. And I'm taking my time, just feeling my head on top of my body, on top of my spine. Down and up. Simple, easy movement is going to have the deepest sort of calming for your nervous system. The same thing is going to happen. Yay, pants. Totally, right? These are my party pants. Side to side. Easy. So I'm going to go big. I'm going to start panning the horizon. So my body, I'm locating, right? I'm seeing what's around me. I'm checking the safety of my space. These are all like primal things that's all brainstem stuff, like our lizard body. We look around. Is everything okay? It's okay. Good. Excellent. Maybe it's not. It is. It is. And then I'm going to start to make it smaller and smaller. Each one maybe an inch less than the last turn, or maybe 4 inches. Who knows? Just letting the side turn get smaller and smaller. Not looking at me. Just look out. See what's happening out there, or close your eyes. And then see if you can bring it in. And I'm going to just take my fingertips right on the top of my head, because I felt like I need a little bit more opening through the top of my head, like a little too much activation is happening in my brain and head. I need to open up that fontanelle space and just let some of that energy shoot out the top. Not that we want to lose energy, but sometimes we are overactivated. And then it's going to get really small. Quieting and calming. And it's probably going to be better if you close your eyes. So closing the eyes and just taking it so small that it almost feels like you're not moving. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time with that. I want to invite you to participate with that on your own. Do your own little exploration of that, and take it to the tiniest tiny, and see what happens in the rest of your body. When I start to do this and make it as small as I can, I really become aware of the back of my neck, the volume of my head and my neck and my back body. And I feel like that is, when I can feel my back body like that, I feel like, oh, I can lean into that. I can soften into that. I have support. I am not gonna fall down, right? I have support. My back has volume. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. A sense of volume in your body. Like a lot of our ideas, cultural ideas, are that we need to diminish our bodies, make them smaller, tuck them in, shift them, do this, do that. That's not the healthiest way to participate in being a human. Sometimes it's part of your work, right? If you're a bodybuilder or a ballerina, good chance that if you've got extra body fat, they're gonna fire you. That is part of our world, which maybe is not so healthy. For the animal body. Anyway, so I don't want to get in a big judgmental riff because I dance ballet. But how we consider our bodies, like, do we consider it from an external view, or, oh, something hurts and how do I feel about that? Am I mad at myself because of that, or I shouldn't have done that, or I did the wrong thing? Like all that self-judgment, all guilt, shame, jealousy, all those things, that's the shadow. That's our shadow, right? That's what we are having now. We need to start negotiating with. And negotiating with doesn't mean we erase it. It will never be erased. It will always be there. But maybe we can start to look at it with some compassion and accept it a little bit, so we don't need to dismember ourselves, disassociate ourselves, turn into something else. Thank you, Alexandra. France in the house. I don't know if you might be in Atlanta. Yeah. So anyway, it's been wonderful to move with you all, and I am going to come on randomly to Facebook Live. I tried to do it with a organized schedule, and that it doesn't always work. So I am sending you loving kindness and heart. Caroline Harvey. We are just finishing up. Please feel free to share if this is a resource that you feel like other people, it's free. If you are inspired to pay me and you have a lot of money, please do. If you don't, there is no judgment. I'm taking other people's classes. Most of them I don't pay for, right? I can't. So that's okay. I'm good with that. I can live. I've got food in my cupboards. I have a house. It's all good. Yeah, the privilege of having those needs met. Charleston, South Carolina. Are you working with a ballet company there? I imagine that you are. You are a creative thinker. Thank you. Thank you. And so yeah, share to groups, share to friends, share to family, share to people that need to activate their soft apparatus or release the soft apparatus. And together we can plug into the star machine, find our stardust, find our universal cosmic connection. We're all there, right? So love to you all, and thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate it and feel your presence. Kat Moyle, I'm just ending. Nice to see you. Thank you so much, Lisa. Oh, that's what the whole plan is, to lower the stress level. No ballet company. Well, I liked your work, so let's hope for more. All right. Love to you all.